Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Anthony, once again back with my good friend Tom, and welcome back to another episode of Supersonic Page Turner. Oh,
Yep,
that
Scooty Swag, what's in the bag?
yes. Um, we had to cut the last episode short last time because it was going on for quite a bit, and we try to keep this in a 2 hour, 2 hour and a half threshold so that we're not, I guess,
Yeah, we got
overdoing it. I guess stalling or something like that.
yeah, we also got bogged down by manual.
Yeah, the manual lore was very deep. But
Yep.
we will continue where we left off with issue 37 of Sonic the Comic. And this time we have quite the cover. Uh, I mean, look at it. We got free, more Sonic stickers. Oh, also Sonic and
Yeah.
Knuckles.
Yeah, we got a good classic comic book shot of two characters looking really angry at each other with their fists raised. You see Chuckles and you see Mr. Needle Nose right here on the cover, and they're looking angry.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a good dramatic shot, though a little misleading since it will really catch the reader since last issue Sonic and Knuckles resolved their differences.
Yeah, they found out that Robotnik were was trying to play Knuckles for a fool, and Knuckles didn't take too kindly to that, sapped his chaos energy power, and threw him out of his island. And
Yeah, with the
this
great emerald.
with the gray chaos emerald.
Yep, and well, we actually kind of learned that Knuckles always planned to do this if Robotnik was ever evil, showing that he's not quite stupid. Oh, also we got the Moxio brother story. Yeah, that was the last issue, right?
Yeah,
When
it
we
was.
got to the first part of that. Yeah. You know what?
Uh,
I actually have, holy snap, I have like 1,000 notes for that story. All right, let's continue.
we will get to it when we get to it. But first, a summary. So we start off with Sonic the Hedgehog in Robotnik's Revenge, Part One. We welcome back to Sonic and his crew in the underground base, and on the monitor they are getting a warning that their secret underground base is attacked, and we get Robotnik in the big arms machine. I mean the big arms suit, along with a horde of badniks. We see caterpillars, grounders, and even those drill dozers. I think that they're called. From Lava Reef and Marble Garden Zone, and they're heading for Sonic's underground base. Meanwhile, on the floating island, Knuckles is heading to launch base zone, and apparently Robotnik's influence is still on the island, and Knuckles is setting out to destroy every inch, every trace of Robotnik's influence off of his floating island. And starting with his Death Egg. Cutting back to Sonic's underground base, we see that the entire team, is getting ready to gear up against Robotnik and his horde. Robotnik breaks in, and Sonic and Johnny try to take him on hand to hand. Doesn't work too well. Johnny gets captured, but Sonic saves him. Robotnik is getting antsy, and it becomes a classic all-out duel between, a classic all-out brawl between Sonic and Robotnik. Robotnik gets a good couple hits in. Sonic doing his Sonic thing, spin ashes everywhere and hitting him repeatedly, and causes a cave in on Robotnik. But Sonic knows that cave in is not going to last for long, so they got to go. Once Porker Lewis has re I guess re-implemented the AI of Dr. Kintamore back into the power ring, they are ready to um they are ready to escape their base. Robotnik is getting word from Grimer that everything is going well, and there is and lies to him, saying that
So,
Knuckles was killed by a stray bandit patrol, but that didn't work because it turns out Knuckles has actually captured Grimer and has tricked him into saying that for Robotnik.
all right. So let's talk about the issue. Art good. But yeah, let's talk about the issue. So we got the so we got the boss from the end of Sonic 3,
Yep.
or is it
Officially called.
Knuckles?
It's at the end of Sonic 3.
Yeah, the boss that gets cut if you combine the two together. Or is that another one?
Well, no. So if you just play Sonic 3 alone, you get a gauntlet of two Robotnik boss fights and then the big arms, whether it's Sonic or Tails. And if you combine both games, Sonic never fights the big arm boss. He only fights the first two bosses, and that's it. But Knuckles is the one that fights the big arm boss, since he never fights the other two.
Oh, breaking the gosh darn canon. Already 2 points deductive if we did points. But but yeah, we got that boss, considered by most to be the hardest boss in Sonic 3 because of the spikes, the arms that can pick you up, and the fact that it's one of the few bosses that can actually do a thing to Supersonic.
Yep. Because of a glitch in the original Sonic 3, the big arm boss has a grabbing attack animation, and once it grabs Sonic, he will fly up above the screen and slam him back down. Well, if you're Supersonic, there is a glitch in the game where it reads it as normal Sonic. So no matter how many rings you have, the moment you are thrown back down, you lose all your rings. So
Yep.
that makes the boss a lot more interesting. And actually, the boss might be harder to fight as Supersonic because the hitbox for the arms is always open. Oh, I mean not always, but it's almost always open or active. So it's almost like he's always ready to grab you. Fun fact: this boss is one of the easier boss fights for Sonic, um, and Knuckles. Because because Knuckles is shorter jump, he can glide perfectly into the weak spot cockpit. Even with the big arms out, and Sonic, the Insta Shield makes mincemeat of the boss and its hitbox.
Yep. Archie Sonic taking it on without Super. Canonically, not Archie. Fleetway Sonic taking it on with Super. Canonically strongest Sonic, as we can all know. Um, but jokes aside, using it as kind of the capstone, using it as like as the sequel part to this is probably really does amp up the threat, especially for the kids who are most likely reading this comic after playing Sonic 3 and going, "Oh snap, it's that."
Yep. Fun fact: this is the only one of the only times we'll ever actually see a drawn version of the Big Orange boss fight because we would not get official artwork of it until Sonic Generations. And even then, that's more of a reimagined design of it. So we never got an official design for or concept art for the Big Arms. This would be the first.
Um, oh, I did not know that. That's cool. So
Yep.
on to the plot stuff. I like that they remember that Robotnik knows where the base is
Hmm.
because he was prisoned there. I don't know. It's good that they didn't just go straight to status quo, and Robotnik capitalized on the knowledge of that. The Kintivore computer getting back to the ring, which we learned in Sonic World, was where he first was at. Still to capitalize, also still the stuff from Knuckles' stuff. Also, it's a good follow up because Robotnik's death, because remember Robotnik's death had crashed there, so he would be rebuilding it. So it's a good a way to sequel into it in its own from its own continuity, using its own continuity. Also, isn't that what happened? Then again, wasn't that what happened in Sonic and Knuckles? I don't remember. I haven't played that in like 1,000 years.
Which part?
Um, the I don't know the time frame of that. Sonic does Knuckles' part happen like around the same time Sonic's part
No,
happened?
no,
I mean, like
canonic.
after the whole reveal. I mean, after the reveal, and then like after Sonic fought Robotnik
No,
again.
no. So how the timeline works is that Sonic and Tails story events happen first, up all the way up until the point of Hidden Palace Zone. Knuckles has no influence on the story at all. Um, the only time he helps out is during Sky Sanctuary, and that's it. Because of his because of being betrayed by Robotnik and being sneak attacked by him, he has no energy to keep fighting or keep going, so he leaves the rest up to Sonic. Sonic runs through Sky Sanctuary, through the Death Egg, and the Doomsday Zone, and takes down Robotnik and returns the Master Emerald. Knuckles events happen after the story, where rogue egg robo is trying to finish up what Robotnik's plan was, and steals attempts to steal the Master Emerald and destroy Knuckles. Uh, meanwhile, Sonic and Tails are nowhere near on the island anymore because canonically, after the good ending, the island goes back into the sky. So it's just Knuckles running through the island again. And there are hints that his story takes place afterwards because certain things like the backgrounds in Angel Island Zone, you could tell that the background is just the sky, not the jungle anymore, which means that's floating again. Certain events have already happened, like Carnival Night Zone already having its power on, and Sandopolis having the ghosts released. Uh,
Also, is the Death X on the island, or is that just gone?
uh, no, the
Or
Death
was
Egg
it
is
in the sky? Sorry,
no,
I'm mixing up comic continuity with
no, the
game
Death Egg.
continuity.
Yeah, the Death Egg was completely destroyed by Sonic's story. And Knuckles' story happens afterwards, so that's why he never goes on to Death Egg. The furthest point he gets to is the Sky Sanctuary Zone, and that's because that's where he hid the Master Emerald. Because the Hidden Palace Zone was already compromised, and that's where he
Yeah,
fights
that's when he fights
Super Mecha Sonic.
Mecha Sonic.
Yep.
Yeah, when I fight Mecha Sonic. Okay, so there's the comics reason, which is still good using their continuity to build off of that.
Yeah, no, since it's trying to play it off at the same time um where Eggman is trying to launch the Death Egg, and in the game, the time he tries to launch the Death Egg in the launch base zone is when he uses the Big Arm boss fight. So this is kind of lining up along with the game because since Knuckles is in launch base zone, now it's a good time for Robotnik to use the Big Arms.
Also goes off with the comic because afterwards you saw the Death Egg land there. You would be like, what happens next? But yeah, it's a good way to split it up.
Yep.
And and Knuckles in this one ended up fighting. Well, this is kind of part of the Knuckles. It's weird
Oh,
because it's like
I
part.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Um, Sonic and Knuckles' stories are kind of mixing up here up until a certain point because once Knuckles tries to get rid of the entire influence of Robotnik stuff and Robotnik is kind of banished from the island. We will still follow up the ending of Knuckles' story from Sonic 3 Knuckles, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. We don't get the Mecha Sonic stuff until later. Oh, also they use Grimer. Pretty. Also use Grimer, but yeah. Besides that, it's a pretty. Besides that, I'd say it's a pretty good start to the story. Also, I like that the freedom fighters are actually like packing up and leaving because they realize our Robotnik would capitalize on this.
And Robotnik was not one to let a moment go by, as he says that he wanted to leave the assault personally.
Yep. But yeah, it's a good part one. Also, it really shows how powerful the I forgot his name, Big Arms is in
Yep.
this fight. Having it being able to knock Sonic, fight back. Sonic has to be creative with it by like making a cave in within their cave just to
Yep.
get away.
And even then, it wasn't even enough to stop it.
Yep. And then sets up the stuff with the little side stuff with Knuckles, side plot with Knuckles, and then you see him tied up Guymer at the end. But yeah, good part one.
Yep.
Do you want to go on to the tail story?
Nope, that's you.
Okay. Dang, I read this like 2 weeks ago. Flipping through the pages, flipping through the pages. Okay, yeah, I remember now. All right. So we continue back with Zone Runner. Nothing like Blade Runner, but yes, and the Flock. So last time, blah blah blah, Tails meets sheep people, blah blah. Robotnik wants to flood the whole zone. Release all the chemicals from chemical plant zone, which would flood other zones and kill a bunch of people. Tails to meet the flock, they call him a zone runner, which is someone that goes in between zone. And now they're like, "Yo, Tails, help us." They open with this, and they also gave Tails this machine that can open doors. That's so far we see what it does. They're trying to go stop one of Robotnik's robots, Nuts and Bolts, who is the one leading the whole flood chemical, the flood. I can't say the name. Chemical zone, and flooding and killing everyone plan.
Chemical
And
plant.
he's trying to like release a dam. They go, they meet him, they attack, and he says, and it gets into a huge conflict, and he's about to fight his men. Oh, one of his men is, and two of his men are like Mobians. Adding to that list of Mobians working for Robotnik, and he said he wants to take out Tails personally, and that's where we end. So I noticed one of the sheep should have a skull on his shirt like Punisher. But yeah, um, so let me say my thoughts. Art, pretty good as always. Um, I really like the backgrounds and the shade. We like the background and shading to it. This guy really does have a great art style and it really works for the tale story. Story wise, it's a good continue part. It's a good part two consideration to the story. Like I said, I personally like all these Tales mini adventures. It's good to build him up as his own hero for especially for later stuff. It's good development. It continues Tails' this whole thing that he doesn't believe that he's the true hero and he's doing this all an accident. Which, to be honest, he did save them by accident from their machine randomly malfunctioning. But yeah, it's just a part two to the story and next issue will see the grand ending to it. Any comments, Anthony?
No,
And no,
no, I've said it.
not one comment.
I said it time and time again. I just do not care for the tail stuff. But in all seriousness, though, other than personal gripes, it's a nice story. I do like it. I do like all the little references and callbacks, and I do like how they're just keeping up the motif of Tails just saving everyone by happenstance, even though he's aware of it or not. Later on, it becomes less happenstantial and more like he does goes out of his way to do stuff, so it doesn't get old. I mean, so it kind of drags out a bit and it does get old, but it's they don't linger on it forever.
Only been Well, technically, there's only been three stories. They're just there and spread out in parts because it's a magazine.
Yeah, but it's it had the but the I mean, okay, but each part is kind of like the hits a certain hit certain beats where everyone hypes up Tails. Tails does something that accidentally looks like he gets into trouble. He solves the problem by accident. He's praised even though he doesn't know how he does it.
Yeah, I see. I see what you mean. It can be a little repetitive, and
Yeah.
I feel like if this was going to be what they're going to do forever, so I understand the purpose. Maybe it's because I see where it's going to go with it. But yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah, and I know it's not
I
gonna
feel
stick.
like if they were to
Okay.
continue what you were going to say.
Oh, I was gonna say, and yeah, I'm aware that they're not gonna stick with it forever. So, it's I'm glad that they have something, but they're not gonna. It's not gonna be around forever. I guess that's the best way of saying it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I know what you mean.
yeah,
But yeah,
but
I can see
other
what you mean.
other than that, the art is good. I do like the art. I do love the shading, and I love um how the robot designs. I mean, that's one thing I can consistently love is the Badnik designs. Um, for these, especially original ones or attempts at the classic ones. Those look nice.
Yeah, my favorite page is when like their ship is falling and you see the background with the sunset and the rest of the chemical plant zone.
Hmm.
I think the colors really go well. But yeah, um, that's all I can really say for it. You want to go to the next issue?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
We open with issue number 38. Um, and with the tagline of free Sonic sticker set number 3. Finally, I can add to the other two. But more importantly, we have this neat little cover of Knuckles and Sonic up front. Well, Knuckles up at front and center, ready to tear things up, and that's the tagline of this one of Sonic and Knuckles tear it up. Gotta say, it's really nice. I love how Knuckles looks. I love how
Yeah, it's a good dramatic cover.
I like how Sonic looks too in the back. Even if you can't see his full body, you can definitely still get. I love the pose that he gives off, like there.
Putting Knuckles front and center since this is going to be the big issue where him going to be a part of the story where him and Sonic really team up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good cover.
Yep. As we last left off with Robotnik and well, Sonic's crew trying to escape. I mean, getting ready to pack up and leave their underground base. Robotnik has started his invasion, and this time we follow up with the continued fight between Sonic and Robotnik's big arm machine and his Badnik army. And things are not looking good. It seems no matter what, Sonic keeps damaging and attacking and going at it for the big arm machine. And I just forgot that the name of it is called the Squeeze Tag Machine. That is so fucking stupid.
Like the big arms better.
Yeah, but at least it's kind of like I don't know. I mean, it's kind of on the nose. I mean, that's all, dude. This is the same guy that names the Caterpillar Badnik Caterkiller. I don't think he's up for super original names.
Out does fit Goofy Game Robotnik.
Yeah, but the Squeeze Tag Machine, I don't know, that doesn't roll off.
No, I guess the one's just trying to be a little playful with it, like early classic Sonic likes to be.
Yeah. Uh, I I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the bad Robotnik's final machines are pretty blatantly named, like the Death Egg robot. Uh, but anyways, Sonic is once again giving it his all against the Big R's machine, not doing a whole lot until suddenly it looks like the roof is caving in, and suddenly Knuckles appears and bashes his way into the the Big Arm's cockpit and tears it apart. Sonic goes ahead and takes advantage of Knuckles' opening and spin dashes through the top layer of it, opening it up and knocking Robotnik out. And Robotnik sends his Caterpillar army, his Bannock army after them. And Knuckles makes an exit for Sonic and his crew to escape. Sonic and Knuckles team up and take out as many Badniks as they can, along with Johnny, Lightfoot, and Porker Lewis is also there. He can't fight. Um, it looks like Sonic and Knuckles are also in a competition on who can take out the most. And as Robotnik gets away, Knuckles gets back on an Eggmobile and escapes back to his island. And Sonic and the crew, without having an underground base to call their own home, they decide to go around as a gypsies, traveling, basically traveling band or circus kind of thing. But they are disguised as gypsies, and that's where it ends.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, I think there's sides of like different circus types, because Sonic's like the ringleader with his Barker with his Barker Beakley disguise. Tails is
Yeah,
a clown.
yeah.
Johnny's like has that ringmaster mustache. Burger Lewis, I guess fortune teller, maybe gypsy stereotype.
No,
Um,
no. I think Amy is supposed to be the fortune teller.
no, I thought she's supposed to be a magician because she has a wand in her hand. Because some old school magician will wear a turban to make themselves seem more mystical
Eh.
in the old days.
Well,
Burger Lewis,
whatever the reason is, it's
gypsy.
not that's not really important.
Oh, they call themselves a traveling. Though you're right. They do call themselves. The name of their circus is the Bob Beakley Traveling Circus.
Oh, well then.
You see it second to last page, bottom panel.
Huh, you're right.
You also see the tornado and stuff that they carry back there. Just keep them under sheets. But yeah. keeping up the that Bar Beakley disguise. I wonder. Maybe wonder if they ever do an issue where like there's a real life Bob Beakley, and he's like, and Robotnik just keeps trying to go after him. He's like, I don't know why. I don't do anything. That would be funny.
Yeah, it would.
But all right, let's.
I was gonna say, even though they have the tornado under wraps, you'd think it would be a lot more noticeable considering it's an airplane.
Well, sure, there's other planes in this
Yes,
world,
I guess. I don't know. Is
so
Sonic
maybe.
is the tornado really that iconic?
Well, if the games are canon, I guess Robotnik would probably know it.
Yeah.
Plus, Robotnik's seen it a few times.
Yeah, but
Also,
I don't know. It's just a red biplane. That's the thing.
it has Tails symbol on it,
Yeah.
so I guess that would be the
Yeah,
biggest
that would.
giveaway. Unless,
Yeah, that would. I just thought about. I forgot about that. It also has Sonic on the side.
yep, unless they cover that up. Why they doing that? But yeah. So let's talk about the story. It's a really good conclusion to this. I can't even call it a two-parter. I guess since they go with Knuckles, I guess six-parter.
Yeah, it is, huh? Because
Yeah,
it
because it
just
goes
en-
off of the first Knuckles' story, and this is like the conclusion to it.
yeah, and it's not like there's an in between. It just immediately continues.
Yeah, so six-parter. It's a good conclusion, good adaptation of, I guess, Sonic 3, despite this part being called Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic 3, it's not the end of Sonic 3 in this universe.
Yep. Basically, the end of
Get it?
Sonic's story for this. Well, the Sonic's portion of the story in Sonic 3 Knuckles. We'll get to the Knuckles portion at a later point.
But yeah, you get some action. You get to see the team up of Sonic. You get to see Sonic and Knuckles team up for the first time in this comic in a fight scene. They got some good banter with one another. This more edgy. I was gonna say edgy, but more like not even cock. I guess he's more cocky than the others. I can't think of the right word for it. I don't know. I'm just gonna say this more attitude-filled Sonic really bounces off of Knuckles. It shows showing some of Knuckles' honor with the fact that he felt that since it was his fault Robotnik found the secret base, and he felt like it was his duty to help them.
Yep.
But yeah, in the couple bits that they've seen, also, let's say, let's talk. Do you want to talk about the arc altogether?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Uh,
Okay, so that's the whole adaptation. Do you want to go first?
sure.
Because I've been talking a little bit.
Okay. Uh, as a whole, the adaptation, I really liked it. I like the whole take on it. And if I were to compare it immediately to Archie, because that's just what I'm going to keep doing no matter what. Um, it certainly was better. Archie's adaptation was just one issue, and Knuckles just kept coming back, and some events would take place on the island where they would be where it was important, and some events weren't. Some of them were just keyed in. I mean, there was a four-part comic issue called the Death Egg Saga, which was supposed to be about the Death Egg on the floating island, but that came much later. The introduction of Sonic 3 and the introduction of Knuckles wasn't really given a how do I say a good focus like the Fleetway did, and that's why I really appreciate about the Fleetway is that even though it's its own take on it, obviously it's not gonna follow it zone by zone or by or note by note. But I do like what they did. I do like how it ties in very well. And so far, I really like the first. Okay, so it's six parts, but the first four parts were. No. I think the first two parts were Enter Knuckles. The second two parts were something else, and then the last two parts were Robotnik's Revenge. But
Technically, I was gonna say technically seven if we count the poster book.
Yeah, I forget the poster
That's the
bug.
first appearance. That was the first appearance of Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, I guess we should count it as that because you could write it off as a prologue, but it is our first real introduction to Knuckles, and the prologue tells us a bit more that we don't see in the story. So, um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I like the prologue. I liked um, how well everything just tied together. I liked Sonic and Knuckles' rivalry. That is something that will keep going for a while, but it will lighten up. Uh, I love how well they work off each other, and I love how uh, Knuckles is supposed to be more of a hard-hitting matchup to Sonic as opposed to a robotic doppelganger who's trying to emulate Sonic. So there's obviously a lot more interest in that. And, since Knuckles is going to be a main player in all this, can't wait to see more of him. Overall, I think this
yep,
arc was all right. I liked it. I really did like it, and I had my fun with it. I just can't wait to see what's next. Art was beautiful.
yep, yep. Uh, yeah. Let me say my garbage. So yeah, I'll say overall it was a good arc. It was a good. This arc for me felt more like a. It was a very good introduction to Knuckles' character. Felt like me like if I was going like shown in anime, it would be like a good introduction arc to Knuckles' character. We see him. We see he's on the level of like we you see him. You see his mission. You get the mystery of the floating island, which is going to matter a lot to the lore. You get the early fights with Knuckles and Sonic to show that he's on par as Sonic, and Sonic actually had trouble with him. You really build him up, and then you see the whole thing with Robotnik, and this final part just culminates with him finally together with them. It's a good build up to his character. It's a good build up to Knuckles, and a good. And if I was just a reader that never played the game, I would say this would be a very good accurate. Oh, I would want to see more of him. And it ends in a way where he could go off and do his own. He could go off and do his own thing, and you could bring him back at any point, or even tell his own side adventures. Overall, I'd say it was pretty good. The fight was a pretty good conclusion to it. You got a lot of build up with the base getting destroyed, with the old base getting destroyed, and with the army of badniks. But yeah, overall, I would say it was a pretty good arc. It didn't end anticlimactically like the Metal Sonic one, where you had all that build up. Then a MacGuffin saved them, and it very logically. Yeah, it's a good introduction arc for Knuckles. He even introduced even answered some lore questions about the Chaos Emeralds, how they work in this world, and the whole Gray Emerald thing, which will matter later on too. Yeah, I would say I agree with you. It's a good introduction arc. I said it like 50 times, but yeah, a good story. And now we also entered. It also gave us a new status quo with the Freedom Fighters, which is gonna stick for a bit of them being traveling circus people at Beakley Circus. It's gonna be their status quo for a little bit. And yeah, it's a really good flow into. I really like how this arc flowed into it, and like how this arc flowed together with with the reactions of each thing. It reminded me a lot. I'll say the way the magazine format has gotten me. It almost reminds me a lot of a comic strip where you end on like this big thing and then you continue inward and then the comic strip continues the story. But yeah, I would say this is probably the best arc we've had so far out of the I guess two. Yeah, I guess just in this one. Have was there another one? Or I'm forgetting?
What?
Arc. There was like Metal Sonic. This one. I
Uh,
get that was like two. That was like two-parter. I was gonna say when Robotnik first took over, but that was more like a two-parter.
yeah, it was
Nah,
just
just Metal Sonic.
yeah, just Metal Sonic was the one that was more than two parts. No, the Chaos Emeralds were Captain Plunder. No, that's still Metal
Yeah,
Sonic.
but I
Damn
thought
it.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
no, that
that part of Amy. Yeah, that's when he's introduced.
yeah, that's still a Metal Sonic. Damn it. There's nothing but yeah, it's just Metal Sonic and Knuckles. Damn, that's
Yeah,
kind
we've
of
had two
depressing.
arcs.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing. Man, we even have an arc for Supersonic, the most interesting villain in this thing.
Well, it's kind of shown up like a few times.
Like three
Did we
times up
do the
until this point.
poster book? Did we do the poster? Yeah, we did the poster book.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, so yeah, like 3 times. And it really hasn't done much past his introduction. Except for like random short stories where they show his power. Then yeah. So we've talked about this. You want to go on to the next story? Is it in this one? Yeah.
It's
They want to
Tails.
end.
It's
Yeah.
Tails.
Yeah, it's Mile Flower, and let's get into that.
All right. Well,
Haven't read
hey.
this in a week. Let me just. All right.
Well, Tom, you can handle it from here.
Okay. So we cut back to Flock part. Wow, this is part four. I thought it was part three. Well, I guess part four. Um, the Flock is fighting Nuts and Bolt's forces. Nuts and Bolt wants to deal with Tails personally. He starts shooting at him, but Tails tricks Nuts and Bolts, getting a door smashed onto him by using the door opening machine accidentally because he didn't really understand how it worked. Nuts and Bolts is just half of his body is destroyed, but his head wheels away, wheels away from it. The flock managed to defeat Nuts and Bolts' minions of robots and like two Mobians who were evil. One's a sheep, one's like a wolf girl. Um, so yeah, he managed to defeat them and use like the melt and and the dam was flit was and the dam was filled back in because when Nuts and Bolt was fighting Tails, he shot one of his robots, melted it, and it melted right in place, keeping the dam from bursting. They thank Tails. Tails says he did it all by accident. He didn't really do anything. They said he's very modest, and Tails slides down right back to Sonic. In this, I don't know what about this last panel. I find Tails really cute in it. I don't know what is it. But yeah, he slides right back down to Sonic. Sonic says, "We got stuff to do, Pixel Brain. They can't be playing around," and that's the end of this Tails story.
Yeah. First off, I gotta say, during the absolute last panel, I like how Tails, he looks like he has a 1,000 yard stare where he's just seen hell.
Yep. Nuts and Bolts survived this, and I totally forgot about that. I guess we're gonna see him again, unless they forget about him. I didn't look it up if he comes back or not.
Yeah. Why didn't Tails just kick it?
I know. Maybe it's going faster than what we could see.
It's a
Maybe it's
race
just going
car.
really. That
It's
could be
like
pretty fast.
it's the equivalent of a little RC car.
How do we know? This is future tech here. It could be going really fast. The Tails
It
just
is
couldn't get it.
is designed like an RC car.
Doesn't mean it is one. That looks like a shotgun. Doesn't mean it works the same way. Could be a
How do you
laser
know?
one.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know? Exactly, we don't know. It could just be really fast. And Tails just then again, Tails in this universe isn't the smartest, so maybe he just didn't think of that. He has to be told to fly sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I forgot that that was a thing.
Yeah. They also really play up the fact that he's only 8. Cut him some slack. But yeah,
Right. What kind of
uh,
person sends an 8-year-old to fight their battles?
yeah, the site, old time superheroes. But
I was more like
but
referring
yeah.
to I was referring to like what was it, the ancient kings or something like that, the enchanted kings in this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those idiots. I think any Enchanted Kings are idiots. We've established it. They're not the best. They need 8-year-olds to fight their battles where grown adults could have done it.
Yeah.
But and they constantly call that 8-year-old. And they believe the letters of some random 8-year-old that he's a hero in another dimension without questioning it. was just like, oh, we're this random 8-year-old. I guess it's true. Unless we're gonna learn that the Power family is like the most greatest family ever or something. I don't even know if we ever see Tails' parents in this. Though they do exist in canon. But yeah, ends like you said. Tails accidentally saves the day. Nodus goes off. But yeah, it's a cute little quick ending to the last to this little story. And until the next adventure, where Tails gets another little outfit from his Blade Runner coat. Oh yeah, I forgot they took it. So yeah, until it I also like that they take his coat and they're like, okay, until you have your next little adventures, we'll give you a little cute coat back, just like the Enchanted Knights with his armor. But yeah, short story. Don't really have much else to say. Nuts and bolts wasn't really particularly interesting. The conflict was okay. Just kind of, I'm more like, honestly, I say I like these stories. They're all right, but I like them more for like the perspective of the overall for Tales. At least
Issue
analyzing my own,
39.
trying to analyze.
Moving on to issue 39. I I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no,
No,
I
no,
was trying to, I was, yeah,
go
no,
ahead,
no,
go
I was just,
ahead. It's because like you
so
didn't
I
have
was
it.
just
You wait.
self-analyzing. I'm sorry, I was random. I was self-analyzing. I was really trying to analyze it a little too much. But
I,
yeah, you're right. We should probably
yeah,
move on. I'm kind
you
of
were heading.
rambling.
You were getting to that point where you were staring into the abyss. Like,
But I was just like, why do I like these stories? Maybe it's the fact of how it builds onto tale. But yeah, let's move on. Honestly, it's all right.
well, I mean, hold
It's all
on.
right.
Since
3
that
out of
little,
10.
hold on. Since we finished that little arc of Tales, what did you think about it?
Like I said, overall, like I said, it repeats the same thing with Tales, but I feel like it's great. I like it because it introduced a new concept to the world, the idea of like the flock. It introduced the idea that there's like it introduced the idea that there are other people besides our main freedom fighters fighting, which is something that this is something the comic never really established that much. Which is
Yeah,
in comparison to Archie, which established just like 1,000 different freedom fighter teams.
yeah,
This
and
is
even
probably like the first time we've
yeah, and
continue.
I was gonna say, it's been I think feel like no, not feel like it's been kind of hinted at in Fleetway that there are more than just a main freedom fighting team, but that's it. It's been hinted at. It's never it, it's it's implied that there are people who fight against Robotnik's rule, but we never see any of them. We never hear about any of their works or anything like that, and we only see Sonic's crew. And like you said, that seeing the Zone Runners as as basically a covert guerrilla tactics kind of group, that's pretty interesting compared to I mean that helps build the world because you know that not everyone is just taking the whole Robotnik thing lying down, you know. And Archie,
Yeah,
like you said, Archie was a bit more blatant on it because was I think it just flat out like it says multiple times that there are different freedom fighters all over the world fighting Robotnik with varying
yeah,
results. But
yeah. We see all of them. We see like the only ones I remember is the Down Under. Like I'm
yeah,
trying to say the weird way because it's not Down Under, it's Down Under. I
yeah,
think.
it's Unda
We see,
as in like
yeah,
UNDA.
Under. We also see the Arctic ones and like the other ones all around.
Yeah.
So there was like established there was like many more people that were doing this. This is actually the first time I think the comic is fully established that there are like the flock and other people who just do this on a regular besides Sonic's team, which for the world itself, I feel like adding that, being seen that and not just being told that really adds to it, adds to the overall conflict.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as the stories themselves, like I said, it does keep that pattern. Though I feel like the tale stories, the I like the world building concepts as ads and how it adds to tales, which I feel like is more what I like than the stories themselves. Which is not saying the stories are bad; they're okay. But like I said, I feel like I'm self-analyzing myself a little bit. I feel like I'm liking like what it adds to the world more than it adds to like more than the stories themselves. Because like if I were to just judge the stories in isolation, which I really try not to for these, because I feel like I didn't really try nice to. They're kind of they're basically okay. They're basic okay stories. Sorry, just trying to self-analyze a little bit there about
It's fine.
about them, huh?
Mm. I said no, it's fine. Uh, for me, it's like I already pointed out my thoughts, but as for this, rather than what this arc means for the overall world building, it was like I've said time and time again, and I'm gonna keep beating that record. And I'm not the biggest fan of these more formulaic tales stories, but obviously, you know that I do care more about what their impact is on the world of Sonic the comic. So I'm putting up with it. Of
Also,
course.
at least it focuses on a main Sonic character, unlike Barf. Remember
Oh,
Barf?
yeah, I
It's
do.
so weird. It's so weird. It feels so long ago, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was like last. It was last podcast.
Yeah, but Barf.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's better than that.
Oh yeah. Well, the only thing I could actually care about in that goddamn side story was the two buzz bombers, and even then, I shouldn't care about the buzz bombers.
Like the idea of us bombers turning, but I don't know. I think it won't go anywhere. Also, I don't know. It establishes the thing, but honestly, I don't really feel like Barf needs to exist. You could just establish in the comic, oh yeah, Robotnik has other people
Hell,
that fixes Batnik.
we saw it at an earlier point with the summer special stuff, the summer special stuff where Grimer and Robotnik were testing out the new machine. We just see a straight up human scientist in that room.
But
Just a
yeah,
I don't know. Barf doesn't need to exist. If and Barf doesn't need to
also,
exist. Bird is weird, and Cam gives me nightmare fuel.
if it was, I don't know, if their stick was a little better, if they're more interesting, but their whole like dumb guy and I guess smart girl using dumb guys to, it wasn't good enough jokes for me.
No, it wasn't. Also, Cam again, fucking
Yeah,
gives me
just so creepy. They
just
really don't fit. They really don't fit. Like even the flock, I feel fit better because you still see the ship. You still see the sheep parts with like their black arms and things,
yeah. Black arms, you
and it's
say?
still a little. Yeah, the black arms. Oh well, okay, I know what you meant. See,
Whoa, whoa,
foreshadowing of.
whoa! Hold on, Tom. We won't get to that yet. Well, actually, we
I
won't get
think.
to it at all.
Yeah, that this comic ended before the Shadow the Hedgehog stuff had been. All right, want to go to the next stuff?
Yeah. um, we continue with issue 39 of Sonic the I'm sorry. I'm just kind of wondering how would the black arms have worked in this? Like
Well,
how?
I know they can't. They can't exist actually, because I know the origin of this world shadow, and they can't happen.
No, yeah. Uh, again, we'll. I feel like I feel like we have to at least kind of cover that story when we get to it because it's immediately assigned with the Adventure One. But anyways, let's we'll worry about that later. Um, we start with issue 39, and on this cover we have not Sonic, so we'll move on. Uh,
Yeah.
we start with the main story, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic No More. You know, like the famous Spider-Man No More cover, where it's like where Peter stops being Spider-Man. You know, it's that one
Yeah,
cover
that's
that
never been referenced before. Really obscure right there.
yeah, it hasn't been referenced like 100,000 times in other media and in Spider-Man.
Yeah, maybe they should have added a trash can and have like I don't even know. I guess Sonic's shoes sticking out.
Yeah, or just like laid on the side or something and just well, no, then
What if they
what?
have like
I mean,
what if they have Sonic's fur? I was just thinking, what if it's just Sonic's fur and we just see him walking away furless? No, that's creepy. I'm just thinking, never mind.
well, no, no, no. In this universe, it would just be Sonic like with his blue fur in the trash can, but he's walking away the brown hedgehog.
It would. No more. All right, let's get to the this amazing plot.
Okay, the fact that's not, I mean, I don't know, that leaves an uncomfortable anyways, speaking of Brown Sonic, this issue is set up like a Looney Tunes style Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote kind of skit,
Adventure
where
of Sonic the Hedgehog.
uh we start off with Robotnik and Grimer in the middle of a desert, waiting for the Roadrunner, I mean Sonic, to pass through, and Grimer hits Sonic with a weird new machine, and Sonic in the lasers passes through Sonic and hits Robotnik, and it turns out that Sonic has lost his powers. I mean, like it's vague. Like I don't know what it is exactly. He should his
Yeah,
speed is
we'll,
his.
we'll talk about it later. How that doesn't make any freaking sense. But let's
Oh
continue.
yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense because his speed is inherited to his. Anyways,
We
Sonic has
gotta
lost
move
it.
on, Anthony.
Yeah, Sonic has lost his powers, and he's brown, a brown hedgehog like he was before. See issue 8 for his origin. Um, But what has happened to Robotnik? Well, he's turned blue with red sneakers. Turns out that Robotnik has stolen Sonic's speed and abilities, and he easily beats away Sonic like no problem. Sonic tries to run, he can barely move, and Robotnik decides to let him go. Um, and meanwhile, back at the Freedom Fighters base, which is weird because their base is not. They shouldn't even have a base. Anyways, if back with the Freedom Fighters,
Honestly, this could happen before it.
it didn't specify. Um, I guess before the Freedom Fighters base got destroyed, before the whole Knuckles thing, um, everyone's surprised by a new brown hedgehog that's entered their place, and it turns out to be Sonic. And Sonic explains how he lost his power and all of that, and how they're going to try to get it back. And Robotnik catches up to Sonic and faces off against him, and Robotnik tries to sick his Badnik army on him. But it doesn't work because the Badniks are made to attack Sonic, and who better to look like Sonic than Robotnik, who is, well, done just like him. Robotnik is not too happy about that, and he immediately tells Grimer to revert him back to normal, and the Bandits stop attacking him. And because of that, he's accidentally given Sonic his powers back. Sonic takes care of the Bandits easily, and as Grimer tries to reconfigure the weapon back to what it was, so that he can steal Sonic's power, Sonic immediately takes it from Grimer's hands and accidentally drops it. Well, accidentally, but more like he throws it on the floor and breaks it. Sonic tells Grimer and Robotnik to get out of here, and that's it. I don't know why Sonic doesn't do anything more than that, but he just tells them
Yeah,
to leave.
well, we have some jobs here. Art.
Mm,
Uh, not the. Okay. Let me be constructive here. Okay, the backgrounds. What the hell? Like the coloring is really flat here. It's just the backgrounds are really desolate.
yeah, which is weird because I mean, yeah, it's weird. The backgrounds are just really, really flat.
Dead. You know what? That fits the desert.
I guess.
But nah, it's really flat. It's not really that. There we go. Um, Another thing, artwork on the characters. It's not the worst.
No. Honestly,
It's
I feel
not
like
the worst.
I feel like
It's
the
all
most
right.
yeah, I feel like the most effort went into Grimer.
I was gonna say, yeah, they really. His hands are really bony. Like this, like you see the panel where he's like touching the machine.
Yeah.
Fingers are really bony, bonier than they've ever been. They look like the literally skeleton hands, fingers.
Yeah. Well,
Um, Robotnik's face, and poses. That pose where you see like the Sonic Robotnik. I swear that is traced from a Sonic Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog scene, or it's original. I don't know.
it is
It-
very unoriginal.
no, I
If
swear the pose itself.
oh, the pose, yeah, but I don't know.
It
Like they
feels like
couldn't.
I've seen Robotnik in Adventure of Sonic Hedgehog do this pose before.
Maybe. It's. I'm more
But
upset
yeah,
that they didn't give him like a different outfit. It's just the same outfit, just colored blue and with spikes.
Wait, we'll get to the logic here. But yeah, Robotnik, that pose right there, I have to say it's pretty funny. That pose should be a meme. They're really channeling the adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog in this story. I can really tell
Yeah.
because the characters are a lot more not serious, especially Robotnik. He's a lot less serious than he's been.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be like a kind of a cool down between arcs because after the intense arc that we had last time, this one just feels like it just happens.
Yep. But yeah, let's get to the story. The fucking nonsense logic that this
Oh
comic
boy.
goes on. The nonsense. How does that work? Okay, so this machine, I'm assuming that it took out the energy. Okay, so let me try to justify it. I assume this machine, whatever the fuck it does, it took out Sonic's natural physical running speed, and it also took away the color his fur turned into for some reason, and gave it to Robotnik. Because Sonic can naturally go this fast. It isn't like a superpower. Well, I
Oh,
guess
that's
it's superpower. I'm sure it's like well, it's a superpower to him. I
yeah.
I guess compared to other hedgehogs, because Amy can't go that fast.
Yeah,
But
but
it's like
it's natural to him. It's
it's like
inherently
something
his.
in his body.
Yeah. The
It's
the
sort of like that's.
the
I'll
whole reason
continue.
I was gonna say the whole reason why he became blue was because he broke the sound barrier. That was it. It's not because his speed is tied to his blue fur. If anything, if that machine took anything, it would just be normal Robotnik, and Sonic would still be blue.
Well, but yeah. Which it also gets back to that thing I see in comics. Like it happens to Superman a lot. Like when characters take his powers, I'm always like, how does that work? Did you take his organs out? Because like it's not like a power. Technically speaking, they don't have powers. It's like natural to their bodies.
Did you just take? Did you reconfigure your cells to how his work?
Yeah, like there's no energy there to take. It's his leg mass. But what if it would be his legs and organs and whatever the heck he needs to not die from friction?
Yeah.
But whatever. This is nonsense comic book science. We can all agree with that.
It's that kind of
Uh,
thing that bothers me, like body swap episodes where for some reason if two people switch bodies, they still keep their voices even though they shouldn't. I hate that so
uh,
much.
or it kind of bothers me like when aliens refer to their natural abilities as powers. Like there was this
Yeah.
comic where Martian Manhunter lost his powers, and I'm like, what powers? How does that work? And his natural form is just like a human-looking guy but green, and I'm like, what?
It's like
That
by
doesn't
your
make any sense.
it's like by your logic, that would mean that taking away the powers of a fish is its ability to breathe underwater. That's not a
Like,
power. That's just what it does.
why is like human capability the natural default? Like, if that machine would have shot Robotnik, would I take away his brains? Would I be as smart as Robotnik?
No, you just take away by this logic, you'll take his brains and the egg.
Oh my god, would it turn him back into Kentavore, but just not smart?
Yeah, what? Oh god, that's awful. Oh yeah, because yeah, yeah, because that's by the logic of how this machine works. Yes.
Take away, because that's not natural to him. That's technically a power.
This is so
Because he was
stupid.
absorbed by the evil energy. But yeah, freedom fighters don't do shit in the story. That ending where Sonic just lets Robotnik go away and
Yeah,
Piper go away, where they were completely at his mercy.
yeah. You think like I don't know, capture them? No, you just tells them get out of here. You've
You know
lost
what?
Robotnik.
You know what? I'm gonna make a note of this. Any terrible thing Robotnik does from this point on, I'm gonna be like, it's Sonic's fault. He could have stopped right here.
Oh god.
That's gonna be my new argument. Any terrible thing Robotnik does, I'm like, don't like if Robotnik kills someone's parents, I'm like, don't worry, little girl. It's all Sonic's fault. He could have stopped them right here. I'm gonna mark this issue I'm typing it right now on my notes. Every time I'm gonna be like, "Oh, little girl, Sonic could have stopped on this issue right here. It's all his fault." Also, though I find some jokes funny. I like the joke where they bring up the scientist. I forgot his name. Was it like Neinstein or something like that? I don't remember. But then the little note
Oh,
says that we'll never mention this guy again.
yeah.
So
Uh,
don't remember
yeah.
it.
Neinstein was a famous Mobian physicist. Not that it makes much of a difference. We're never gonna mention him again.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually.
I like how even Sonic looked like he was aware of it, where he's like, "Wait a minute, that's it, huh? We're just never gonna bring this plot point up again." All right.
This guy ever again. You know what? It would be funnier if they do bring him up again. Like 100 issue down the line, he's like, "Who are you?" "I'm Professor Neinstein," and this little box says, "We lied." Then he dies. And then it's like, well, that's just you have to remember it again.
Oh man,
But yeah, it's
that
very Sonic the Hedgehog. I feel like the person who, yeah, it's very adventurous Sonic Hedgehog. Yeah, I think it's a little low key story.
yeah, it's
Like I said, it's a good breather back to like a random adventures.
the thing is, this feels more like a how do I say? This feels more like an Adventures of Sonic the I mean, no, this feels more like a Sonic's World story than uh than a mainline, you know?
Main line. I
Yeah.
don't know. Compared to some of the main lines, especially the early ones, about on par to be honest.
Mm.
Like we fucking remember the Acrobot way, that's at least him fighting Robot. I'm trying to think. I should go back and like list all the really stupid mainline stories that we don't like to think about too much.
Issue
Maybe
5?
a poster book story. Yeah, I should probably go back and remember. We're trying to remember all the really dumb ones we just don't remember.
Ah, yes, issue 5.
Maybe Professor Sun. Yep. Maybe this would be a poster book story. Remember Professor Sun
Oh my god, you're right.
and his weird, creepy face. But yeah, nothing do much. Want to move on to the Knuckle story.
Yeah, this doesn't do much for anything, but the follow-up story does. And that follow-up story is I say as I scroll to it. Here we go.
Knuckles Carnival Night Conspiracy.
Yep, Knuckles and Carnival Night Conspiracy start. So, as we start off, we leave off from Robotnik's Revenge, where Knuckles escaped with not escaped, but returned back home to the floating island on an Eggmobile that he took from Robotnik. He was gonna keep it, honestly, but it turns out that's not gonna work so well. Robotnik has intercepted Knuckles with a transmission and has warned him that he has set the thing to explode or self-destruct. And Knuckles jumps off, expecting Knuckles to fall to his death, not knowing that the Echidna can glide. And as Knuckles returns to the floating island, he sees that an entire carnival or city area has set up place on the historical island, and finds out that the Carnival Night Zone has been built on his time away. Knuckles digs under the fence and goes in, and he's immediately seen through surveillance cameras as he tries to sneak his way through. Three familiar figures have spotted him and are slowly watching. And a construction badnik or bodyguard badnik tries to battle Knuckles, but Knuckles easily overpowers it and destroys it. And this is a surprise, but Knuckles is almost shot. He's just flat out almost shot by a sniper. And
Oh, that's the first time we've seen guns in this series.
yep, uh,
The flock use guns.
yep, it's just a flat out fucking sniper. And Knuckles follows the trajectory and sees that it came from the top of a building, immediately scales it with his abilities, And as he gets up there, he knocks the gun out of one of the three figures' hands, and it's revealed to be the Marxio brothers who have built the Carnival Night Zone on the island, and they are here to make a deal with Knuckles.
Right. Fucking Moxio brothers again. Someone must really like this parody.
Yeah,
Who must really like this Mario joke? I don't know. They're there. Also, Fleetway Knuckles. I'm fast enough to dodge a bullet. Confirmed. But let's get to the. I'm gonna list these bullshit beats if we ever get to Archie.
game theory.
Oh gosh. But yeah, this picks up literally where the Knuckles arc ended. With literally where the Knuckles came from the egg on. Art really great. Oh, it's a good part one. And it leads you on. I like the little silhouette shots you see of the Markio brothers before they show up. That robot Knuckles fight is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I also like the way he died, where he was like, not bad at all. Not bad at all. You know, that's a cool honorable duel. He had a good 5 seconds.
Yep.
But yeah, continue. What are you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, it seems a bit like a little honorable for Badnik, who just showed up for 5 seconds just to die. It's kind of weird.
Yep. Well, I guess since this is another story, they want to show off how strong he is.
Oh no, yeah,
Or like
definitely.
almost remind.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just, I don't know, kind of, I don't know. Maybe it would have been interesting if this robot was more of a
Yeah, if he
rival.
continued. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been cool if he would have continued like as the rival throughout this whole story instead of like the Moxio brothers.
yeah. And then like at the end, to really show off how powerful Knuckles is, Knuckles will say something along the lines of like, "All right, now I'm gonna get serious with this fight," and just easily overwhelms it with his brute strength. Really
You
showing
could
like,
have the whole. Yeah, continue.
oh no, go ahead. That's where I was gonna end.
I was gonna say we could have the whole not too bad line because we've seen him throughout and how tough he is, and then just a better show. Dang, Knuckles is tough.
Yeah.
But no, we get the Moxio brothers. I don't know. I'm saying like I hate them, but they're there. Yeah, they're just kind of there. The joke kind of lost its shine to me, honestly.
Yeah.
The joke of them being Mario Brothers kind of lost its shine to me, honestly.
Yeah, the Marxio brothers, they didn't always have the best transition to 3D.
Nah, I thought the Moxio Brothers 64 was pretty good.
Um,
Th-
it was a bit
Though
too
they only
explorative.
focused on,
It was a bit
I
too
don't know, that
explorative.
it has some of the,
I don't know. It
I
was
don't
a
know,
bit.
those jumps were pretty good.
I don't know. There was a bit too much going on for me, honestly. And besides, the whole game with just the main Marxio, Gracchio as the main character. I don't know. Like if you already have a bunch of characters, might as well just use them, right?
That's true. They started off with three, and then they only used one brother. And also had to make up all those other characters in the game.
Hmm.
But yeah. But no, it's a good part one. I think it's a
Yeah.
very nice part one to the story. That's all I really have to say since it's just part one. Also, you seem to have really liked this one. I guess because it continued over from what happened last time.
Yep. I'm always down for immediately what follows up, and I mean this already. I mean this is already setting up the path that hey, Knuckles is very much his own character. He could carry up on his own, and let's show that with these side stories of his and stuff.
Yep. Um, you know, I'm gonna look it up to actually see when does the Moxio brothers finally fucking die. I just when do the writers finally realize? All right, guys, the joke's done. Let's just take these guys out. Oh, that's when. Not yet. But when it happens, I'm gonna call it out.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's. Do you want to continue to the next thing? I don't really honestly have much to say since it's just the part one of the story.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's just move on ahead to the next issue. Issue number, as soon as it loads up, 40. Man, that took a while. We see that on issue 40, we see the cover of Sonic the Comic, and we see on this beautiful render is a pose of Knuckles. I can't tell if he's supposed to be gliding. I think he's supposed to be gliding.
I thought that too, but but his like his hair, whatever you call those, his dreads are like up top, but they should be behind.
I mean, that's how they had him flying before or gliding before.
No, it
Sorry.
wasn't.
Yeah, when he jumped out
Wait,
of when he jumped out of the rope eggmobile. Hold on, let me go back.
no, no, they were behind them. Yeah, they were behind them. They only stuck up when he was falling.
Man, no. Oh, yeah, they are behind him. I don't
Yeah,
know. I, is that how Richard Elson is trying to draw them? Because it's front
I,
facing. It's front
I
facing.
think it's
That's
just
because that's the only thing that I'm kind of confused on.
I think it's just supposed to be like Knuckles is up front, and you have to show, and you have to convey his main thing, which is the floating island, at the same time. So I don't really think it's supposed to be like him doing anything in particular. It's just like an act, just like him in the front.
Hmm.
Because they're trying to like, because I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to like show Knuckles, and they're trying to show the sky. And Knuckles' main thing is the floating island, so they also have to convey all that in one page. So, boom. You have to so you put Knuckles front and center, and you have your eye, and you have his shoe there, so your eye can lead to the bottom of the floating island. And with the clouds in the back, you can kind of infer it's a floating island just from looking at it.
I guess so.
At least, yeah, maybe it's for maybe for someone to like easily see it when it's like on the rack or something.
Hmm.
I think it's all right. All right, let's get to. Do you want to get to the story inside the top 10 out of 10 Sonic story inside?
Yep. Oh God, I forgot it's this story. I was really hoping we could keep putting this one off. All right.
No.
We open with Sonic the Hedgehog in the Frozen Zone. This is not the Frozen Zone. We saw what the Frozen Zone was before. Why is it okay? Oh, I'll get to that later. Anyways, we open with Sonic and his crew exploring a frozen town with resident members still frozen, and they're not. These are not statues. They are just people flat out frozen by some kind of machine. Then suddenly a Bannock comes out, and turns out that that Badnik has frozen Johnny. Sonic is immediately on the move and destroys it with ease. And they go through the hole and they have to find a way to save Johnny Lightfoot. As they enter, they see the lab of a man called Doctor. I'm sorry, the Chiller, and he has developed his own machines or Badniks or
Nah, I think
no,
they're just robots.
yeah, they're just flat
They're
out
just
robots.
robots.
Yeah, they're just
Doesn't have
robots.
a cool name with them.
Yeah. But the Chiller has made his own robot army to freeze those around him. Sonic easily dodges them, but they froze to ground, and Porker Lewis has slipped and became frozen. Tails immediately tries to help him, but is also frozen. Sonic cracks and boom and crashes. Sorry, crashes into one of those robots, but they're a lot stronger than he thought, and his feet are immediately frozen. And he argues with the Chiller, asking what is his evil plan and all this. And and
You forgot his evil plan, didn't you?
I don't I do not care enough to remember.
Mm.
Uh basically Okay, now I remember. Oh wow, I just so basically he wanted to freeze the whole zone over. People didn't like that, and he wanted to return the insult. Wow, that sucks. That
10
really
out of
sucks.
10 motivation right there. I felt the compel, dude. I felt really compelled to this guy.
Sonic immediately breaks out of his little prison, and he's like, thanks for this boring story. Gave him enough time to burst out, and he immediately takes care of the chiller robots or the chillbots. That's what they're actually called. They're called the chillbots. That's weird. Um, and the chiller is about to escape, but he's stopped uh by Porker Lewis and Tails, and it turns out they escaped from Sonic's heat trail from his escape, and decides to no longer Sonic decides to unfreeze the entire zone, and the chiller decides to turn over a new leaf, and he's like, "Well, I've tried being a bad guy. Let me try being a good guy." And that's it. Sonic and his crew leave. The whole place is is being melted over, and it's no longer called the Frozen Zone. It's called the Pleasant Zone now. That's it.
Oh no, it's called that before.
Oh,
They just called it that because it was frozen when they saw it.
but we already had a Frozen Zone before.
No, they were making a. I was just making a joke because it's frozen. It's not. They're not calling it that.
Well, then why was it called the Frozen Zone?
That was just the story's name.
Man, this story
All right.
sucks.
All right. So I'm here to inform you the Chilla does not make any more appearances, unfortunately.
Oh, thank God. Oh
Yeah, I know. I'm
no.
sad.
Oh no.
Uh,
What?
I
No.
know his backstory. That shit that made me cry. Damn. All right. Let's talk about the art. Is that one artist that we've been seeing a while? Casanova.
Yeah.
Like I said, he just doesn't draw the Sonic characters that great, but he's a great artist. Like that background, like when you first panel, those backgrounds top tier.
Oh yeah, especially even the last panel. The last panel.
Dang, yeah, you're right. That looks great.
Yeah. He's great at drawing creepy looking humans. He's really like evil scientist. He has a knack for this
And robots.
and robots, but he just cannot draw anthropomorphic hedgehogs or foxes or
Also,
Johnnies or porkers.
yeah, Porker has his hooves back.
And that weird bulbous curl. What is that?
Yeah, Porker has his hooves back. He had it back in like the other story with like Adventure Side of the Hedgehog. It seems like there weren't like a lot of conversation because when Ellis draws him, he draws him consistently with hands.
Yeah.
Except Johnny, well, I guess Johnny they always give his hands. Porker to keep going back and forth with the hooves.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
weird.
yeah. So fucking Chiller. This story was again, it was just kind of a filler. It's kind of a random adventure.
I'd rather go back to the last one.
Um,
I'd rather go back to Sonic
is
No More.
this is this guy the first? No, there was one before him. There were villains before it. This guy was he the first villain that had no relation to Robotnik? But I don't think so.
Mm,
I think there was a guy before him that had no relation to Robotnik, or unless I'm remembering wrong.
I was gonna say, unless you count that volcano with with the bald eagle tribe, but no, that volcano was
Oh,
in
Robotnik.
instigated by Robotnik, so that immediately throws it out the window. I can't think of anyone.
No, he might actually be the first. He might actually be the first villain, unless I go back and read it that had no relation to Robotnik. What? No, no, Plunder. I forgot. Captain Plunder had no relation to Robotnik.
Oh yeah, forgot about him in the Metal Sonic arc.
Yeah, he has no relation to Robotnik whatsoever. But yeah, the Chiller. I honestly have much of that. Though I find it funny that even in the story, the characters are like, "Damn, this guy's backstory was boring as shit." Like the Sonic was even like, "I suppose there are normal folks who laugh at." Even Sonic was like, "Thank you for the fucking boring backstory." It's like, okay, chiller. It's traditional for a villain to explain his his dastardly plot to his captors. So go ahead. I thought you never asked.
Man,
They
that
saw
guy.
my. So yeah, he's mad because they saw his idea as weather control was dangerous, so they gave him the cold shoulder in return. You know what? This guy would be useful in the fight against Robotnik. And also, who is they? Did he work for Robotnik? That can't make sense. Robotnik would probably eat this metal control stuff up.
Yeah, he would
Be
cannibalize
like,
it and
that's
probably use it for his own stuff.
yeah. I'd be like, you can work for me, chiller. But no, I guess Morbians. I was gonna say other Morbians, but he's human. Um, Genius. So yeah, he's gonna help the Pleasant Zone. Lock you up. It'll be a waste of your genius, even if it's boring genius. But yeah, I've already spent too much fucking time on Chiller. It's there. It's all right. Art's good. Fuck the Chiller. Upset? No, I can't say that. Great. Chiller's amazing. Hope he comes back. 10 out of 10 story. Do you want to move on?
Yes, yes, I do.
All right, let's move the fuck on.
We continue.
Knuckles.
We continue with the side story, the better story, Knuckles in Carnival Night Conspiracy Part
Shit on my
Two.
man, the Chiller.
You just admitted too that it doesn't do shit. Uh,
I was lying, then I realized how great it was at the end. Now let's continue.
God, you can't fool me. Um, we continue with Knuckles meeting up with the Marxio brothers on Angel Island. I'm sorry, Floating Island, and the new city built called Carnival Night. And they're here to make a deal with him. So, what they're proposing to Knuckles is that they build this amusement park, they pull in the funds and the money, and Knuckles can be the main man behind it. And Knuckles thinks about this deal for a minute that if he could use that money to clean up more the some of the more ancient relics and ruins in this place to as a respect for them, the Marxio brothers decide to show him to a little to show him around the place a little bit, and he spots some badniks, and he immediately knocks them down and destroys them. But it's revealed by Gracchio that those badniks actually were paid, and they bought the badniks, and they actually just work for them. They're not here to hurt. Um, and Knuckles immediately demands, thinking that they're in cahoots with Robotnik, how do they know about the floating island? And Gracchio reveals that ever since Robotnik escaped, it's the location of the floating island has been revealed to everyone. The location and it's well, the fact that it exists rather than legend. So they decided to show up and try to make a profit. So they decide to show Knuckles off to an amusement park ride, and to give him a good thrill, to scare him a bit. Hopefully, he'll find it to his liking and enjoy it. However, there's something more sinister afoot, as this might be Knuckles' last ride.
Okay, so as so art great as always. Let's talk about the story. This is probably the dumbest we've ever seen this Knuckles. At least the most night. Well, I guess he trusted Robotnik, but the fact that he would just go along with the Moxio brothers like this,
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that
and like,
he went along with was the idea that this place could turn a profit, and
well, what
he could
does he
use
need money for?
well, because then he could use the money to help rebuild and restore some of the more beaten down ruins of like Marble Garden and stuff like that.
How does he know about money if he's only lived on the island, like he said before?
And those Mesoamericans, they really knew their stuff.
Not canon in this one. Now, but no, seriously, that's a question I'm wanting about that. Like, how does he know about money? He only lives on the island.
I don't know. I really don't
Also, why
know.
would he care about the concept of money? He only lived on the island.
I
And why
again,
does he care if the ruins are ruins? No, I'm no sorry, just thinking about it. No, I'm thinking about it now in retrospect because I'd never thought about it when I was reading it. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
I guess the only thing that does make sense is the fact that he wants to show respect to ancient civilization by preserving the ruins and stuff like that. That's the only thing that makes sense here. But
Yeah, but like everything else about the whole money thing and the thing, why would he care or know about it?
yeah, like I understand if he needed supplies, but he should not have I mean, I don't know, maybe a bartering system he'll probably be aware of, but like that's about it.
Even if he gets
I
someone,
don't I don't think Knuckles understands the idea of capitalism.
also, even if he gets the money, he'll have to leave the island to spend it. They'll be unprotected. So why?
I cannot
It
answer
doesn't
that
make any.
question. That is
Yeah, I was
weird.
just like, no, I'm just thinking about it now because I'm just thinking like, if he got the money, hypothetically, and Knuckles knew what money was, he'll have to leave the island to go spend the money. Then he'll be unprotected
Unless the Marxio
unless he
brothers
was.
have like this weird has a unique ability to convince anyone of their to persuade anyone, but I doubt that part.
Maybe that's part of maybe that's their difference to the Mario Bros. They have like innate psychic powers that we just don't know about. But yeah, so yeah, this also Knuckles being really gullible. Like he believed the whole "we just bought it from Robotnik" thing.
Yeah.
It's not- And if that's the case, how did they get on the island in the first place? How did they even know about it? Well, I guess maybe you could assume that there's people who knew the legends,
No,
but
no,
how
no.
did they build?
No, they I mean, I don't know how quickly they built that place, but they explain that they do know about the island now because of Robotnik basically
Oh yeah,
sending
advertising
that
it to
yeah,
everyone.
advertising it to everyone.
But so quickly, he must and quickly built this whole place within the couple minutes Knuckles was away.
Yeah, I mean, unless like Robotnik was locked up for like a couple of days. No, yeah, they had to have been a couple of days because they were doing
'Cause
shifts already. They were doing shifts already on who should be watching Robotnik.
Yeah, but he didn't know about the Moxie. He didn't know about Carnival Night Zone.
I know. I'm
So
just
it
trying to.
has to be after he defeated Robotnik in the end of the story, and then came back in the egg ship.
Well, he didn't know about the launch phase zone. He found that.
Okay, that's true. Robotnik could have just built these like separately, which should make him even more suspicious.
I. The more I'm thinking about it, the more it falls apart.
Yeah. So let's focus on some of the good things. Knuckles in like a Halloween theme thing before with a Halloween theme thing, with like a roller coaster way before Sonic Adventure. Even has the ghost.
Yep. Fun fact: it is canon that Knuckles is afraid of ghosts.
Mm.
Like he's actually just legitimately afraid of ghosts, and it's weird considering the amount of mystical shit he puts up with. You think ghosts would be the last thing he's
Also,
afraid of?
ghost on his island, which we don't see in this adaptation. This is the first the ghost with the Mazio brothers, the first one we see.
No, no, no. I know what you're talking about, Tom. That ghost is a spirit. Ticole's a spirit.
Mm, you're right. Also that the cart's face is the Green Goblin. Or
Yes,
at
it
least looks
is.
like it.
It's just straight up the green. If you take away the diamond, sure, but like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a miscolored like Dracula, like vampire thing. I think it's supposed to be
Uh,
like a vampire thing, but I don't know why it's colored green.
maybe they just was like random monster on the face.
The vampires are green,
Really?
right? No.
Yep. But yeah, the Moxio brothers, they're there. And I actually looked up. when they finally die for good. Actually, I don't even know if they die because I haven't read it yet. 115.
God damn it.
They're gonna stick around.
God damn it.
They stick around for a while.
That's
Someone
half of
must have really liked the
that's more than
Moxio brothers.
that's more than half of this comic's run. What the hell?
Someone really fucking liked the Moxio brothers.
Yeah, I guess they did.
But
Jeez.
yeah, I hope it's the most horrible death ever. I don't even know if they die. I hope it's horrible and they scream. But alright. So yeah, it's part two. I don't know. It's not that great of a part two if you really think about it.
No. No.
Really hyping up the gullibility of this Knuckles, especially after his last thing where we show that he's not that naive and he kept the Great Emerald thing. It kind of makes him a lot stupider than he should be.
Maybe he's just more on edge when it involves the Chaos Emeralds, but when it comes to the island, I guess he doesn't care, which should be the exact opposite of how it works.
But no, he does care. That's one of his reasons. He, I don't know. I don't know. Again, just plot. It's really contrived. But first appearance of really dumb Knuckles, way before any other future Sega stuff.
Hmm.
This comic was ahead in many ways. Head in many ways. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. You want to go on to the next issue?
Sure. Um,
Holy snap.
what?
Oh yeah. How we doing on time?
What?
How we doing on time?
We're doing pretty good.
All
We
right.
still,
I just
we got,
want
yeah, we
to
still got,
know.
yeah, we still got plenty of time.
Okay. So yeah, let's go on to the next issue with 41.
Hold on,
Oh great, I found something great.
I'm really
Oh
debating if
wait,
I should
no,
cut this part out.
I actually have some good news though, Anthony. There's going to be a huge gap between issue 115 where we don't see the Mafia, 114 where we don't see the Moxio brothers. So there's that.
Hooray!
Yeah. Okay, so we see Sonic on a snowboard.
Hooray!
Sonic 3. Or was that Knuckles? Was that 3? I think it's 3. I'm right, right? I might be wrong.
Hooray! Hooray! Yeah, it's from Sonic 3, Ice Cap Zone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Tails wiped out. Sonic's forward facing. It's a cool dynamic cover.
Fun fact: the snowboard that Sonic uses at the beginning of Ice Cap Zone, it's not supposed to be a snowboard. It's actually supposed to be the door he breaks out of from Flying Battery.
You know what? I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That actually does make more sense because I was even wondering the kid like, why? Where he get the snowboard again
Yeah,
from?
no, there's a transition where he breaks the door in Flying Battery Zone when he escapes, and he uses that door as a board.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like those smooth transitions.
Yep. Anyways, we continue in issue number 41, and this cover, Sonic's hand.
I guess I get what they're trying to do, but the fingers are a little short
Yeah.
for it to work. I know they're trying to do like the foreshortening with the hand in the front, but the fingers are a little too short and not quite in the right angle
Hmm.
for it to really work. It just feels like he has really short fingers on that one hand.
I mean, I think this is the
Also,
same.
I
I think
thought we were talking about the cover. That's why I was bringing it up the snowboard.
I know. I just no. We are. I just thought that we should point out that it was the cover, not the story.
Yeah, the cover. There's no snowboard in the story.
Yeah,
False advertising. But
man.
maybe it's a reference to the best character, the Chiller.
Shut up.
10 out of 10.
Well, technically, it has something to do with the chiller. Something. We return in ice cap attack, and we open with this with Sonic's crew and Amy, being attacked by penguinators, and
Part of
they
that
are
crew.
what?
No, you said crew and aim. I'm like, I thought she's a part of that.
Well, sometimes they have her, sometimes they don't. They bring Porker Lewis more often than her.
Hey, they explain every time. She's off doing other shit.
I've yet to see it. Anyways, we open with penguinators flying. No, that's not right. Uh, and Sonic easily takes them out along with the rest of his crew. They take out the penguinators, no problem. And they are wondering where they're from because penguinators are only from the ice cap zone. Until suddenly overhead a portal opens up and more penguinators fly out. And the fact that they fly out really weirds me out. Um, Everyone takes care of them, and Sonic makes his way through the portal, and the portal disappears behind him. Now within the ice cap zone, he meets up with Knuckles, who's also destroying Orbinauts and Penguinators, and the two are bashing down Badniks as they go. They get into a little argument of how they don't need each other's help, but they decide that it's just better to work with each other on this one. Meanwhile they are being viewed from a distance from Dr. Robotnik, who has made his base in the ice cap zone and is making a plan that Sonic and Knuckles won't survive to see Christmas.
So yeah. Another Knuckles is back in the story, in the main story, I should say.
Yep.
In a two-parter, no less.
hmm We're just getting a lot of
Ah,
Knuckles love in this one.
it's almost like they're trying to promote a game.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that was true, why didn't they promote anything for Tails?
Well, the Sky Patrol come out yet?
I meant Sonic 2.
Well, he's been there. He was in the comic. He's
Yeah,
always been there.
I mean,
He has a lot of appearances. He has his own side comic. That's a pretty good. There's a lot of promoting.
yeah, I don't remember
Kai?
those.
Okay, okay. Okay. All right. He's like, I don't remember that it happened. All right.
I
All
feel
right,
like you're
but
making,
nah,
I feel like you're
it's a
making
lot of.
stuff
I
up.
understand why. He's a new character and they want to promote him. I
I
like that
know.
they have to have. I like the excuse. I like they're really trying to like, and they have to think of ways to try to put him in it, since he's not exactly. He can't just leave and be a freedom fighter.
hmm
But yeah, let's talk about the story itself. Art different. It's not bad. It's just different. I like it. He draws a good Knuckles and an okay and a good Sonic. I see like in certain areas that all the artists are starting to like mimic Elson's Sonic a lot. They even keep the permanent scowl
Yeah. And how his
that he tends to do.
yeah, and how intense he is, and his weird one cuff glove,
One cuff.
like it only
He
has
has
one
two.
wrinkle on it.
No, it has two.
No,
Right. I
dude, I'm
think
looking
maybe
at.
that's just some angles. I think that's just some angles because you look at like the last page, they're both like rolled up.
No, I'm looking at the last page. They're not.
They're both rolled up in the last page where they're shaking hands.
No, I mean like okay, so
Rolled
you
up.
know how like Sonic's cuff and socks have like two bumps on them.
Oh, you mean his socks? I thought you meant his gloves.
Well, his gloves too. They're supposed to have two bumps on them. They don't. They only have one.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even really pay attention to that.
I hate that I do.
But you're right, he does.
I hate that I noticed
Uh,
that, and it pisses me off.
Amy with her, yeah, Porker Lewis. He's back to having the hoop. It seems like Ellis is the only one that gives him hands, but he's back to having the hooves in this.
It's weird. I feel like they're
So,
trying their. I think they're trying like so hard to like not have him fight or be
yeah,
capable of
he really
fighting.
doesn't do anything. Doesn't
It's
really do anything. He's more like I said, he's the tech guy of this comic. Oh wait, no, he does a little something. You see in like the panel with the ring opens up. You see like him push two badniks, both with
that's
his
it.
hands.
He just pushes two badniks. Tails does more.
You know what? He's pushing the badniks. He's doing something,
Oh my god.
trying his best. That's two badniks. You know what? We'll keep track of that. Forker Lewis tastes first blood to this comic. Taste his first blood. Johnny's proportions are really fucking weird though. Him and Porky's proportions, their legs are really thick than they usually are, and Johnny has like really broad shoulders.
It's the jacket.
Especially
Probably
in
the
that
jacket.
first page. But Porker has that. I guess it's their jackets.
I mean, no, no, you're right about their legs. Oh my god, they're super well defined.
Yeah, they're really thick. They're a lot skinnier than that usually.
Yeah, that's not right. So
So
weird.
Eggman's plan in this, he makes so Eggman's plan, he makes like the whole like you get Badniks. It's a good part one. It really sets it up. Knuckles and Sonic makes their reconnection. I like Knuckles' line is I appreciate your help, Sonic. Now state your business here or leave my island. I like how to business he is. He's like, hey Sonic, I appreciate your help, but tell me why you're here.
Get off my island.
Yes, that's what I want. I just want you all off my island. Also, I like how quickly they come to a compromise. Like Archie, at least from what I remember, Archie, Knuckles, and Sonic would probably have been in a stupid fight before coming to that compromise.
They, yeah. Let's keep in mind that they just happened upon each other one time, and they destroyed an entire special zone because
Yep.
they just didn't like the way the other talked to each other. That's it.
Yep. So I like that this Knuckles and Sonic, they just like, oh, I explained, and they just explained, like, okay, we can work together.
Yeah, Knuckles is more hesitant to work together, but Sonic is the one that pushes towards it, which is interesting
Yep.
considering Sonic
This
is
more
usually,
attitude Sonic.
yeah, he's
I was
usually
have to
the
say
one.
this Sonic's attitude has really grown on me a lot. I really don't notice it as much.
Yeah,
Not say I don't read it and like see it. It's really he's really grown on me.
it doesn't stick out as badly as when he's, well, talking shit to Tails or Amy or anyone else. Or
I don't
like,
know. I don't know. I feel like it's really like his Pixel Brain comic feels more like a just kind of a nickname more than the insult it felt in the beginning. Maybe it's because I'm getting used to the way he talks and the dynamics they have.
Pixel Brain is it just
No, it doesn't fit for this Tails. He's not exactly a Pixel Brain. Not that
no,
smart for that.
no. Pixel Brain means like pixel, as in like how big is a pixel? He's calling him dumb.
I didn't really pick up on that. I thought my Pixel like digital like smart, but all right. Well,
No, he's calling Tails stupid.
whatever.
He's every time he's calling Tails stupid.
Hey, I've had friends call me worse. Maybe I'm just used to it.
That is.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like to this. I don't know. Maybe it's a me now. It comes off more playfully.
You should talk to
Well,
Tails about that.
sometimes he does cross the line sometimes, but characters usually call him out for that, especially when we get to the lit next stories.
Hmm.
Though not all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just saying maybe I'm just used to it. This Sonic a lot more. Definitely not my definitive idea of Sonic, but the attitude's really set with me more that I read them.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just something for me.
I mean, if it works, it works. What can I say? No.
It still doesn't set for you. It still really sticks out for you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he sticks out to me, but like, I'm not gonna. It doesn't bother me as much. I guess like maybe on the same boat. I'm not in the same boat as you, but it's just slowly growing on me too.
Yeah.
It's not
All
completely
right.
forgivable.
Huh?
I don't I don't completely forgive him for all the horror he's done.
You say it like he's done some crime. You know what? You say it like he's on horror. You know what? We should make a tally. Like when we get to Archie, like the worst thing any Sonic has done, and we compare it. I don't know. Archie might win. He does do some pretty. Does some shit.
Even I wouldn't take that challenge, dude. Come on. I'm well aware of how bad that looks.
Look, I don't know. Comparatively, Fleetway Sonic, I don't think he does anything that terrible,
I meant
despite what
personality.
he says.
No, no, personality wise.
I mean, by action, he doesn't do anything that terrible.
Let's keep going.
Doesn't date the girl. He doesn't date the girl that he knew his friend was in love with because he thought it would help him out.
That feels kind of personal.
No, that's what happens in
I know.
Archie.
I know. I know.
That's this Sonic. I don't. It never does it.
Well, maybe because he didn't get the time to.
Also, Tails is 8, so. Well, I don't know. He was 8 in that comic too. I guess, and she was weirded out by the age difference. Whatever. Let's. What, do you have anything more to say about the story?
No.
All right, let's move on. From to this beautiful pinup of Robotnik dreaming. All right, let's go.
We continue with Knuckles in Carnival Night Conspiracy Part 3. We continue with Knuckles on uh his fatal ride, Hell House ride. There we go. Which, by the way, this comic says hell. Uh,
Hardcore, dude. Hardcore.
Radical. Uh, on the Hell House ride, and he's that the Marxio brothers have set up for him. And it turns out that this ride is supposed to be very dangerous to the point where someone might lose their head over it. And Knuckles is about to witness this firsthand. He seems to be enjoying the ride until you notice that the axe that missed him came a little too close than what he thought. The mud creatures are a lot more serious, and a lot of bats and skeletons that are and monsters are available on this route. Yeah, but he bats them all away. He beats them all away. Whether a good track through loop de loops, wild rides, and even a dead end, he pushes past everything, uses the axe, saves himself from a early grave, even though he could glide, and comes back and knocks on the Marxio brothers' doors. And they're on edge. They weren't expecting him to survive, and they're about to they look like they're about to receive a brutal beating from Knuckles. But it turns out he liked the ride. He really enjoyed it, and he decides to let the Marxio brothers stay on the island.
Also, to make a comment, Anthony, he was strapped into the cart. That's why.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right. He was. He pointed out that the safety belt, oh no, the safety bar was too tight on him that he couldn't move. But
But yeah,
yeah,
part 3 of the story. Knuckles is super dumb in this.
yeah, he
He really did. He really did not guess the Marx brothers were trying to kill him.
the only time that he would have picked up on it was when the axe missed him, and he's like, that's a little close. That came a little too close from what I expected.
The mud monsters, which
Which
were real, and he could punch. Also,
or
what
the
the fuck were the mud monsters? Were they robots?
I don't, dude. What about the skeletons? Those are just flat out
Okay, I could justify
necromancer
that. That they're,
skeletons.
I could justify that they're robot skeletons,
No, they were
and
just
even the
straight up.
bats and spider.
They were just straight up skeletons.
That's me trying to justify them.
No, unless the Marcio brothers perform black arts.
It could be robot skeletons. We just didn't see the sparks when they fell.
I don't know. I
The
don't
mud
know.
monsters, though, maybe I don't know how to justify the mud monsters though. That's the one that gets me.
But
The ghosts could be fake too. They were just sheets apparently.
maybe. I
But,
mean, yeah, I actually believe that
well,
more.
sheets with stuff inside maybe.
But
But yeah, Knuckles is extra dumb
yeah,
in this
Knuckles.
story.
Even the dead end, the dead giveaway, he still he thought it was
He
all part of
doesn't
the
think
writing.
doesn't think maybe the Moxio brothers tried to kill me.
Yeah, if anything,
Yeah.
he probably thought the ride was still under construction, so he was like, whoops. But no,
Yeah, he's also a lot more trusting with the Marxio brothers than anyone they really should be. I don't know why.
yeah, this feels like a story that should happen first before Robotnik.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what. After that, I don't understand why he would be like, okay, even for a ride, I guess he'd give him suggestions. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. But yeah, it's part three of the story. Yeah, it's part three of the story.
Yep.
It's okay. You saw a lot of cool, creepy stuff. If we were just 2 days earlier, yeah, this would have fit Halloween on it. You know, funny how this would have actually fit Halloween. Fit October. Dang it.
I just like the moment you mentioned, I looked at the date. Shit.
Damn it. It would have. Whatever. Opportunity missed. Whatever. We can move move on.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
Nope. But we still got another little story to go on to. So
Yes, the first. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to? Whichever one.
do you want to do it?
Sure. Um, we're in Amy Rose in good hands. The first of the Amy Rose stories, and there's gonna be a lot of them. I say like this is a bad thing, but no, there's a lot of Amy Rose stories later. But yeah, the story starts off with Sonic, Porco Lewis, Johnny Lightfoot, and Tails going off to the chemical plant zone because there's problems there. Amy wants to go, but Sonic, for some reason, even though she's been a member of the Freedom Fighters for a long time. Also, oh my God, we missed Toaster Mag 6. I just realized they referenced that in this issue. I forgot.
Do you want to? Uh.
Whatever, move on. We do it afterwards, retroactively next time.
Well, no. Hold
Whatever.
on. Hold on. We're close to the 2 hour mark. We can save this for next time.
You know what? We will. We'll save this for next time after we get back to the all important story in Poster Mag 6.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should wrap this up then. We will save this
Yep.
for next time.
But yeah, I
Oh,
totally forgot it.
I thought you were gonna
What?
close it out. I was
Oh,
waiting
okay.
because
Well,
well, no, it's a bit
well,
late now. No, it's a bit late now.
no, no,
I'll do it. Well, do you want to do it or I'll do it? I don't mind.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. You usually do it.
Okay. No, come on. Yeah, why don't you do it?
Okay, so that's it for this time. We only did six. We only did it was like six, right? We only did like five issues, 6 and a quarter, I guess, of issues of Sonic the comic this time. But we'll be back after after we read after we read one important story to understand the deepness of the next Amy story, and we'll be back for the next set of stories for
It's not.
another Supersonic page turner.
It's not even that important, but just for posterity, we have to do it.
We're in this. We're going it right
I
now.
know. That's
We're
why I
gonna
said for
do
posterity, we have to do it. Anyways, I'm Anthony. This is my good friend Tom. We'll see you guys later.